theologically, trained. What do we do to instill?
But I don't think you need that. When you start mentoring, you have to get on their level and just talk to them. Like I talked to a friend of the family. His father's gone. His mom's trying to do everything. And she asked me to get involved in his life. He's 16 years old. Number one, you have to have a passion for it. Because I tell him, give me a call or let's hang out. Or
the kid has to have the passion.
No, you have to
have the passion.
Because you have to still be encouraged even when things are not looking like they're working.
Well, he don't want to be bothered.
He don't want to be bothered. He's not calling back. Certain things like that. So when you're mentoring, you're not thinking about scriptures or how am I going to affect him spiritually. You're just trying to, he might need a father figure at that time. Right. And I feel as time goes on, things evolve. Because you can turn them off. If you coming at him, he's got these frustrations on the inside and you want to, let's sit down and break, go over the scripture. What?
So what you're saying is you're living by example.
To me, as being a mentor, and I didn't choose this kind of happened. I don't claim to have all the tools and all of that to have kids up under me and holding court. It just kind of is something that happened. And I don't feel that, I feel it comes from within. You have a passion, one. Two, you also, as you mentor, you have to have a security. Because I found out
what do you mean? I don't
a lot of musicians, I'll speak about musicians, we have insecurities. So we don't take on cats to teach and show because we feel the little we get, they're going to take, they're going to run. So that's the end of our gigs, our job, our place in life. So even when we talk about what can we do when being a mentor, you have to first possess a few things. And one is passion and security. And the Bible thing, and I understand where you're going, but when you're trying to help or when somebody needs help, a lot of times, man, you just got to be real. Talk Proverbs or something where it's everyday applications. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear scriptures and what Jesus quoting scriptures and.
I can say this that, and Mark, he's my mentor. He taught me from day one.
Even though he didn't pay you.
Yeah, even though he didn't pay you. What I can say is,
what I like his money now.
No, for real. But what I can say is and Mark was real hard on me, and for most times I thought he was just an absolute idiot for what he was telling me. But
now he really wants some money.
But really, it didn't apply to me. Like, we didn't really spend a lot of time talking about scriptures, but it was simple things like be on time, be be dependable, something like clean your instrument, carry your own instrument, buy your own stuff.
Anytime I mentor a cat, I say I teach you things that's going to help you to be a better person. From me teaching you a bunch of licks or rudiments or this or that ain't going to help you
in real life.
When real situations happen. So a lot of times the mentoring is just from the chatting and the dialogue.
And even from the technical point, like he didn't, to me chords was a treat, but it was learn your exercises, learn arpeggios. That was from the technical side. It wasn't let me show you these chords. It was learn the disciplines, learn how to flow in the service, learn this, learn that. And I was like, man, let me just be loose and just play whatever. But I didn't really appreciate what he said to me until 2 or 3 years ago when I had to step into my own and be like, I could hear him yelling because I'm yelling at cats now like, yo, clean your instrument, clean your instrument, learn arpeggios, play, so that whole mentoring.
Now let me ask a question here to everyone, what has kept you all these years focused on the cross?
My Savior.
Until you got it. Until you absolutely understood the salvation plan what your purpose in life was to be.
It's not
One
money.
day, you know, what has kept you? My scope on these young people is to give them something creative to hold them until one day they get it. Because to some of us it comes right away. Some of us it takes a long time, and you got to be patient.
Oh, you hit that nail on the head.
But that's the power. That's the power of imparting into people, because manifestation doesn't always come overnight. When I mentor a musician coming up who asked me, "Man, how do you do so and so and so and so?" Well, the first thing you need to understand is this your calling? Is music is this the ministry that you think you're supposed to be in? Are you supposed to be a keyboardist? Are you supposed to be an arranger? Are you just fascinated because it's currently and everybody seems to want to be it? When you question that, because I don't want, and when you question, when you ask those things, I ask it because what I impart, I take seriously. What I lend to somebody is life, because I understand it. I understand that it has kept me these 47 years, and it kept me well. There were mistakes I've made that I wish I hadn't, but I made them. I don't hold on to it. I move on. This is how. So I understand those things. So when I impart to you, man, if I'm going to give you 5 or 10 minutes or a half hour of my substance, I'm imparting life into you. So I need to understand where you are, or get some sort of understanding where you are. There are a lot of cats that come to me who see me as Carlton Pope, and not as Carlton Pope who got to get up and do the things I got to do to be who you think I am. You follow what I'm saying? So when you mentor people, it's important to try to get an understanding of where they are, because some of them don't know where they are. Some don't even have a clue that they want to be musicians. The current trend is what, but for me, I take it so seriously, I'm so passionate about it, I have to be careful. But that being said, if I know somebody that I want to mentor, or I feel like God is leading me to this person to plan, I'm going to be hard like he was with him. I'm not coming with no sort. Listen, this is what you got to be done. You want to be taught, here's what I teach you. Come back in 2 weeks with the knowledge. Come back what I just told you. I want you to work on it, study it, do those things. Because that's what it took for me.
Yeah.
I've heard people
say stuff. I think one common denominator for all of us in this room is that there were times we all experienced a level of servanthood.
Yeah.
We all were servants, and we all were faithful to something. And I think that part of that, I'm a strong believer in that scripture, that if you're faithful to a few things, he'll make you ruler over many.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
See, that's my point to us all. If he makes us, if the scripture is right, then where are we? And where we supposed to be? If he makes us ruler over many, then why are we going to the many? Why aren't we coming out of our what's comfortable, because it's always been this way, and go past that, and let's put this God that we say we love and serve to work.
Because we don't know who we are. A bunch of perpetrators and fraud.
That's right. It's easy to say. It's one of the reasons. Well, I ain't gonna say everybody. But one of the reasons is that we talk a good game from an emotional perspective. But when it comes to manifestation and bringing it to fruition, we stop at a certain level because it seems impossible.
Yeah, it's the same saying. Faith without works. We believe it. We can see it, but we don't want to work for it. We don't want to work.
We don't want to
Let me
work.
ask you a question. We're talking about mentoring some of the young minds, right? And some of the bad habits that they probably picked up from us, either on purpose or by mistake. Now, we could probably change the course of these minds by pouring ourselves into them, praying and fasting that's been mentioned. But what happens with the people that are 10, 15 years above us, that have kind of lost track, and they never really have proper mentors, and they develop real bad habits that have actually ruined us? Do we give up on them, or do we try to still continue to reach them?
Well, I think here's what I was thinking.
The best thing you can do is lead by example.
Right.
You know,
The seniors.
The best thing you can do is lead by example.
You mean it for old? You said for older.
I'm talking for the old. Do we give up on the older folk?
Yeah.
No, you know,
How old? That are kind of set in their ways and are still in leadership capacity.
Yeah,
And still
because
still the focus of this subject here now, where this person did this person did that, they don't see this. So, you know what? If it's got to get changed, let's just change it. and we have to figure out how to actually pull minds together. We have a lot of brilliant minds here today. Let me tell you, if you're a musician and you're able to archive literally hundreds and thousands of notes in your mind and pull them on command, you're brilliant. So why can't we come up with a plan to be able to start a change? Not just talk about it, but just implement it.
Well, John started, and we had a beautiful.
And we have